welcome to Hated to Love It. I am your host for today, Jeremiah the Rebelist. So today I'm going to be reviewing Dune. So Dune is a remake of the 1984 and is also a retelling of the actual science fiction novel. So when I went into this movie, I was like, do I really care for this movie? I don't know, because I wasn't a big fan of the original Dune movie. I really didn't like it. I thought it was boring. I think it was like the worst movie of all time for me. So when I saw this trailer to this one, I was like, wow, this actually looks very interesting. Going into this film, you have this planet called Arrakis. So Arrakis, they produced what you call this spice. This spice is the only planet that produces this particular spice that actually helps spaceships achieve interstellar travel. And it also helps like for abilities and powers. So this thing is the most valuable asset in all of the universe. So the Emperor of the Cardins, he had people like govern this planet. The first was the Harkins. The Harkins, they were governing this planet. Like they were like the worst people. They were pretty much dictators. They put the Freya, which are the people of the planet Arrakis, into slavery, and they would just bring out all-out wars. So it became a huge problem. So the Emperor decided to have the Harkins leave and have House Atreides come in and try to bring peace and see if they could like share the spices. So House Atreides comes in, so that now they're the new governors. And now you call Paul Atreides is the son of Leto Atreides. He is like a special breed. He's supposed to be the Messiah because he has abilities and powers that he can see into the future. So pretty much this movie has like a little bit of everything. It's like the Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones meets a little bit of the Star Wars films. And I gotta say, this movie was actually a really good movie. Story-wise, I mean, compare it to the 1984 version, this story explains everything very well, like in detail. And this is a very character-based story movie because it doesn't have too much action, but when you do see the action is phenomenal. I mean, when you have the action scenes, it's very phenomenal. But mostly this is more of a character-based, story-driven film. So you're not going to get as much action, but the story is very intriguing. It keeps you engaged. That's what I really enjoy about this film. And like the visuals was amazing. Like the special effects on here, I really thought that it was real. Like this place was actually real. The people were real and everything. So I was like, wow, this movie is really good. I really like the character Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet. He did a wonderful job. I mean, my favorite scene with him in it was like he was in a room with one of these like priestesses. They're almost like Jedis, almost like they use like some force type abilities. Like, and she told him put his hand in a box, and then she put a poison dart to his neck. And he was supposed to use his power to kind of like stop that from happening. And like the lady saw so much strength in him, she got scared. And it was like, that scene right there was really powerful. And like just his abilities of, like he wasn't a whining teenager. Like this kid was very smart. He was very skillful. And I really enjoyed this character. Same with Leto Atreides, his father. His father was like a really good king. Like I said, this was reminding me of like the whole Game of Thrones, like the whole character developments and the dialogue. It was like Game of Thrones, you know, and all these different houses, like the House Harkins, they're the villains of this. So you know they don't like the fact that they had to leave the planet Arrakis. So now they're trying to get that planet back so they can win over the spices. So there's a lot of like really like deviance is in this, and a lot of like craziness that happens between these houses. Like it's like I said, it's almost like that Game of Thrones. And these visuals are so great. Like I am trying to figure out how they made the sandworm. These sandworms, they look creepy. I mean, I wouldn't want to be on that planet with these damn sandworms in there. And also the Freya, the people that live in Arrakis. They're like hardcore warriors and everything like that. They're so intelligent, and they have what you call this. They call it the desert. What do you call it? Desert power. You know, and this movie is like really good. Like it's a good epic. I mean, I know like it's kind of slow. Like the movie is slow, but it's intelligent. Like it's very intelligent. So when you go into this, like go into it very open minded and pay attention, because you're gonna get a lot of things are thrown at you, but they explain it very well that you will actually catch up with it. So I really think this movie is hands down probably one of my favorite films so far in 2021. Like the Harkins in this, the villains in here are so really good. I mean, it's really strong movie. And you know, this movie, I'm gonna let you know right now, this movie is like how the Lord of the Rings, the first Lord of the Rings ended. This is a first part of a like trilogy or a sequel. So the way it ends, you know, it ends abrupt. So you're not gonna get a ending to this movie. So because you want to, because the second movie will be coming out in 2 more years. So that's the only kind of a downfall, but I didn't really find it as a downfall, because I find it we got everything we needed to know in this one film. So in the next film, I really believe that it's going to be light. That's where you're going to get all the action, all the craziness in this. You know, it was like the story was leading up to the second film that's going to actually make it into a great epic. And I really believe it will be a great epic. What do I rate this film? Is it a love? Is it a hate? Or is it something in between? I gotta say, I gotta give it a love. I really love this film. This film was really good. Like I said, the dialogue, everything, the special effects. I would advise you watch it on the biggest screen if possible. Don't watch this on HBO Max. Watch it in the movie theater. It's worth it. It's a great time. Please. I mean, I advise it. So, that'll be all for today's episode. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about Dune. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or was it something in between? And guys, please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share my content. It helps with the algorithm on Facebook and also on YouTube, because that's where you can find me both. And you can also find me on Twitter at JRevelis at Twitter. So I'll see you when I see you. Peace.